Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing week. Excited to be connecting in with you on August 1st. I can't believe it's August already. This year and summer is going by so quickly. I'm honored to be connecting in with you. And I feel like when we start getting to August and leaning towards the fall, it's a really good time to check in and see, are we falling more into balance, or is the pace of things starting to run us a little bit? I think it's really important that we check in and have tools and tips on how to fall more naturally into balance than sometimes letting life around us or situations have us falling out of balance. So today we have amazing experts that are going to come alongside us and empower us around finding that balance, falling into it naturally, around our relationships. That includes the relationship with ourselves and relationships with others and with business, our mindset, our connection. Are we really stepping forward in a balanced way? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's take a moment, take a breath together as we just connect in. And as we're doing that, I want to share something with you. I have a celebration today, an announcement. And I think that's important, that as we're along this journey together, that we take those moments to celebrate things. And it just went out in the news today, so I know I'm allowed to talk about it. I always wait till things are properly announced. And I wanted to share with all of you that our book that we recently released this past June, towards the end of June, which was the Experts and Influencer book, the Leadership Edition. And we're so honored to have all of you leaning in and helping making it a #1 international bestseller. Well, today it became, in addition to that, a top 12 spirited woman pick. And so we're very honored. It's going out in media today, and it's such an honor to be on that list and recommended as a book that is going to help people powerfully in the area of leadership. So I'm just excited. I want to take a moment and thank all of you, celebrate that with you, and thank you for leaning in and being part of that. It is available on Amazon for anyone that's interested. Again, it's the Experts and Influencers book, the Leadership Edition. And you know you're looking at the right book because it'll list my name as the compiler. I'm very honored to be the leader of that book and that project. And you'll see a flock of birds on the front forming that beautiful V formation. So you know that's the correct book. Thank you all for leaning in and helping make that possible. We're honored to bring that book forward. And as we're thinking about that and looking forward, celebration is an important part of balance. Sometimes we get so caught up in that to-do list that we're so focused on doing in the next thing that we sometimes forget in the journey to stop, pause, breathe, and celebrate the connection, the time together, those moments when something wonderful like that happens, or an achievement or an honor, really taking a moment to breathe it in and celebrate. And so I wanted to purposely do that, share that with you, but also take that moment to connect and celebrate with all of you. So breathe that in as we celebrate, connect, and I want to make sure each of you get the most out of our time together today. It's really easy, just like I was talking about, getting perhaps a little caught up on the to-do side and forgetting the stopping, pausing, and celebrating side of balance when we're looking at that. It's also really easy to get distracted, to be here in body and have our ears listening, but our mind isn't fully present. We're trying to think about that to-do list or other things. So I want to encourage you to be fully present, mind, body, soul, and spirit today. Deliberately, purposely, mindfully being here. Because I know there is something here for you by the very nature that you are here tuning in and listening. And I want you to receive everything that can support, empower, and encourage you on your journey. So let's make a commitment together today to be present, to be open to receive everything that is here, everything that is for us. Being present, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Breathe that in. Beautiful. Those of you who are driving, please do keep both hands on the wheel. No texting and driving. Staying safe, but inwardly tuning in. Those of you who are able to, put both feet on the floor. Feel it supporting you. Sit back in your chair. Start taking a nice deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Like through a straw. Keep that deep breathing. This kind of breathing will help bring you present. Lowers stress and cortisol levels, which helps us have clearer thinking. We're more open to receive. As you keep breathing, go ahead and close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. And in this space, what is it that you need? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, support you, particularly around the area of balance? What is it you need today? And are willing to receive because you have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Receive that information. Come back into the room, eyes open. Another beautiful deep breath. Wonderful. And take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Take a moment to start co-creating that, bringing it out of you and actually writing it down where you can see it and you can interact with it. And as a bonus, keeping it top of mind, because we get so distracted by the busyness of life, the chimes in our life, the pings in our life, the things that are pulling us. It's really important to purposely, mindfully keep that need that you've identified and are willing to receive top of mind, so you're on the lookout for it. And you don't miss the answer that might be right in front of you, might very well be in our conversation today. And here's an extra credit bonus opportunity in this. Be open to the wonderful and unusual way, unexpected way this need may be met, a way you never even anticipated. Be open to being surprised and receiving a wonderful gift, unattached to how to have that need met in your life. Let's breathe that in. Beautiful. We're going to go around our virtual room here, connecting in with our experts. And as we do, they're going to share just a quick share, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, what was laid on their heart when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. And with that, Dr. Michelle, I'd love for you to share.
It connected me to this experience I had this week at a Toastmasters Club. I shared a powerful story. And as a result of that, guests at that club leaned in and were signing up to join the club. And I really connected with that ability to influence other people.
Oh, how beautiful. Remembering and owning and honoring that ability to connect and influence. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're
and
welcome.
How about you, Ivy? What was laid on your heart?
So I'm joining today from being on a working vacation, okay? And right before I jumped on, where I'm at in my home upstate New York, and we're expanding some of the property. And when I closed my eyes, I started seeing truly the expansion. And when I focused in on the expansion, this is I love that the call today is on balance, because that's where I am, is balancing the expansion of my life, how I continue to grow as a woman, how I continue to grow as a businesswoman, as I continue to grow my business, and truly stay centered in what's in my heart's desire and what's important to me, and expanding it all and seeing that possibility.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that you could feel it and see it as you were sharing, and you closed your eyes. How beautiful that is to start to experience it and connect in with that. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen? As we get ready to go to our first commercial break, and the beautiful commercials are playing in the background, updating you, informing you about wonderful opportunities and events and things we want you to know about, I want to encourage you to stay present, to really see what's being spoken into your heart and spirit. Resist the urge to cross things off your to-do list. Give yourself these 2 minutes to stop, pause, breathe, integrate, connect in, and listen. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel. Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel. You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. Isn't it nice to be able to stop, pause, and breathe and build those moments into your life and into your day? So you'll have opportunities throughout our show to do that. And part of it is through breath. When we stop, pause, and breathe, it actually allows us an opportunity to integrate what is being spoken into our heart and spirit on a cellular level. So it becomes part of you instead of just being added to your to-do list. So take advantage of those moments as we give them to you throughout our time together. And with that, we are talking about falling into balance. And our first amazing guest expert is someone that I know is going to pour into us powerfully. So let me take a moment and just more formally introduce her. You got to hear a little bit on a heart level in our opening segment, but let me show a little bit more of her formal background. So Dr. Michelle has a PhD in sociology, here we go, sociology, and has over 18 years coaching experience in helping people through major life transitions. She's helped them through all of those transitions that we have in life. So she's seen it, experienced it, and helped walk beside people powerfully. She helps people create a positive mindset. She's known as the inner game expert that helps people release trapped emotions so they can move into that positive mindset that can lead to success that they are looking for in their life. She's directed and produced an award-winning documentary series. She's a national speaker, workshop leader, and a best-selling author. She is passionate about helping you step into your success. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing and powerful Dr. Michelle Peticolas to the show. Welcome!
Well, thank you, Rebecca. That was a great introduction.
You are very welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us today. And I love to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people kind of work through some of those trapped emotions, help them step into their success? Why is that personally so important to you?
That is so important to me because for more than half of my life, I was not living on purpose. I was living in a place of fear and protectiveness and shutting down. And when my mother passed away, she conveyed to me in those last days how important it is to step into your mission and purpose. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, that you really have regret. In fact, the number one regret of the dying is not living a life true to yourself. So that has become my mission, to enable others who have been tamped down or held back like I was to break through those barriers and step into their power.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love your commitment to helping people step into their mission, into their purpose, so they can live a life without regrets. I just think that's so powerful and beautiful. And as our theme today is talking about falling into balance, I think it's great for us to look at maybe why we sometimes get out of balance and how does that tie into your passion for helping people step into their purpose. I'd love to see how those tie together.
Well, that's a really interesting question. First, I thought change is what sends us out of balance. But actually, I believe that change is a response to us being out of balance. That change is sort of there to wake us up. And we can kind of proceed in this mediocre way of living a small life. But when change knocks us off, shakes us up, that's when we are motivated to do the work to get back in balance.
That does make a lot of sense. And I think that's a really neat perspective, because I think sometimes we can see change as bad, or we can see being out of balance as not positive. And the way I'm hearing you explain things, they're serving us. And we can kind of lean into that. I like that. So what are some tips if we find ourselves out of balance and we're kind of feeling not quite ourselves, or the different things that come up when we're feeling out of sync, out of balance? What are some ways we can get back into balance?
Well, the first thing is awareness that we are out of balance, and sometimes we aren't aware of that. Once we are aware, then we can take action. And the first thing I invite people to do after they become aware that they're out of balance is to be curious, is to say, okay, this is not terrible, This is actually a message from the universe, from my body, whatever, saying that it's time to take another step. If you look at life in nature and even in our own lives, there is always this rhythm between out of balance and balance. Mm-hmm. Balance is dynamic. It's never static.
Oh, I love that. That's tweetable. Balance is dynamic. I love that we can flow in and out, because I think we try so hard to be in balance, instead of allowing some of the ebb and flow. And I'm curious, because one of the things you shared was about awareness and curiosity. And if we're not aware, how could we check in and become aware? What are some of the indicators that we might be out of balance, maybe checking in? What are some ways to determine that or become aware?
To check in with your body. Your body is giving you messages all the time. Unfortunately, a lot of us have been taught to tamp down our physical feelings. That was what happened to me when I was growing up. I lived in my head. And wasn't even aware of what was going on. And sometimes for days after something happened, would I become aware of the emotions around that. So that takes practice. And I invite people every day to check in with your body and see how it's feeling. If you're feeling frustrated or empty or angry, or you feel unable to move, these are all signs that something is out of balance.
Is there a particular practice that our listeners can maybe add to their toolkit of how to do this? Is it simply stopping and pausing and asking? Is it maybe checking in on emotions, checking in physically? What's a way they can do this if this is a new concept for someone listening today?
What a great question. It's the gift I'm going to give at the end of the call. It's an audio recording that people can download that will enable them to tap into their body. It takes them through about 15 minutes of checking in with their body from the top of their head to the tips of their toes to find out where the energy is stuck and to learn to listen to what your body has to say. That's the biggest tip that I have.
Beautiful. I love that. I didn't know you were giving a gift, so this is a beautiful surprise. I love that. So listeners, at the end of the show, we're going to let you know how to access this beautiful gift, and it's perfect for our conversation today. So I love that for those of you perhaps that are experienced checking and listening, getting this way to check in and getting support and guiding you through that is always wonderful. It can always open up new information. And for those of you who this is brand new and I hadn't really realized maybe I'm not checking in and listening. I wonder what is going on below the neck. What is happening? What information am I missing? Here's a process that can walk you through that. So thank you so much for making that available, and we'll make sure to get that information at the end of the show.
No problem.
Love it. So when we're talking about balance, so we've been talking about how it ebbs and flows and information that we might be missing that our body is sending us. So when we get to this place of being in balance, why is that important? How does it enable us to be more successful in business and life, or does it?
Well, it does, because when we're in balance, we really feel good inside, and we emanate that energy. Remember, I talked at the beginning about having that speech at the Toastmasters and influencing people. There was an energy inside of me that I conveyed to other people. When you feel good inside, you are actually doing that all the time. You're spreading that energy, and it uplifts other people, and you can influence those people around you. I want you to just take a moment to imagine if we were all doing that, what a different world we would have.
Feeling good and connected and solid in who we are, because we are. This one of the reasons I'm really proud to be on the Influencer channel is every time we connect, it's an opportunity for us to remember and be mindful of our influence, that we are all influencers. and we are emanating information out, whether we realize it or not. And if we can harness that, if we can be purposeful, if we can be in balance, imagine the impact that we can have on purpose and for good in alignment with what we're called to bring to the world. And I love that.
One other thing.
Absolutely, yes.
So the other thing is that when you're in this state, this exalted state, you become a channel for creativity and information that you are here to convey to other people, to bring forth, to bring into being in this third dimensional life that we live. So that's the other side of it. Not only do we feel good, but there's a purpose to it. And this enables us to achieve the purpose of why we are here.
Beautiful. So being able to be open to that and bring that forth and co-create it is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I want to encourage you to think about the things that Dr. Michelle has shared with us about balance, being dynamic, remembering to check in, have awareness, listening to the information our body is sharing with us, not just what our mind is sharing with us. And as we can step into that place of balance, I love that, where we can become that channel, being on purpose, bringing that influence forward, and really touching lives, including our own, in the way that we are uniquely and beautifully made. So as we go into these 2 minutes that are going to be just for you, I want you to take a moment and stop, pause, breathe, put your hand on your heart, and really connect in and see what your body and spirit and mind, what all of them are sharing and speaking to you. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and took time to really stop and listen to what is being spoken in your heart and spirit. What messages are your body and your heart and your spirit sharing with you too, along with your mind? And just taking a moment to breathe that in and receive that information. We're going to be continuing our conversation around a balance and falling into balance, and what are some ways that we can do that, and some resources that can support us, because life is not a solo journey. We are not meant to do it alone. And here's an opportunity today to have all of us connect in, support each other, and walk beside each other as we are ebbing and flowing in and out of balance in that dynamic dance to be more and more in balance and more on purpose. So excited to have you with us, joining the conversation. And we are going to bring our next amazing expert to the floor here as she's getting ready to share her powerful wisdom and insight with us. And I wanted to just formally introduce her so you know a little bit more about her background and expertise. So Ivy Slater is a professionally certified business coach, speaker, international best-selling author, and podcast host. She's the CEO of Slater Success, works closely with C-suite leaders to help them tap into systems and ways of doing business that can help them move forward powerfully and get the results they're looking for, improving their systems and way of doing things for the long term and short term, so immediate results, and long term, so that you've got strategies to continue moving forward. And part of her expertise comes from her background of tapping into over 20 years of experience. She has run a 7-figure printing business and learned so much of that in that journey, and is now excited to help other leaders step into a powerful relationship with their business and with the people they serve. She is passionate about helping companies and their leaders have clear strategies for instant and long-term success, and building and tapping into and harnessing relationships in a powerful way in your life. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing and dynamic Ivy Slater to the show. Welcome!
Hello there, Rebecca. I always love being with you. It's always a joy. It brings a smile to my face. So listeners, I'm in such a happy place.
Oh, I love it. I feel the same. I love having you on and connecting in, and I'm excited to share you with everybody listening today. So I'd love for you to share from your happy place why the work that you do, the empowering people. So you're an expert in building relationships and in helping businesses get these just amazing results. Why is that work personally so important to you?
It's so important, early on when I was in my late 20s, I ended up getting started in the printing industry. Mm-hmm. And I was told the first, couple of weeks on the job, I got some training, and they're like, okay, go out and build a book of business. There's the yellow pages and the pavement, go. And I was like, oh, wow, that doesn't work for me. And I reconnected. Before that, I was in the corporate event business, and I reconnected with all the old people that I knew. All the old people. Understand, I was in my late 20s. Got it? Mm-hmm. This was 30 years ago. And I reconnected with that small amount of all those old people I knew from the corporate events industry. And I ended up starting to build a really, really fabulous book of business by just reaching out to connections. And no matter what, the one thing I've always learned in business is success is equal to the value of the relationships you build, the value of relationships you put time and energy into. And from that, everything is possible and every garden grows.
So beautiful. Can you repeat that? I feel like that's a really important concept for us to remember. And I love the story that you shared. I haven't heard this story before, so I love knowing this about you, and getting handed the yellow book, and how the decision you made in there and building those relationships. So share that formula again. I think that's really important for us to remember.
So success is equivalent to, or if you put success and the equal sign, the relationships you build and the value you put into them. The value you put into your relationships is the value you'll get out. If you put no value or energy in, you'll say, oh, Ivy, this system doesn't work. But if as you put more value and energy into building strong, long-lasting relationships, you will see what true success is, and we're talking life success. We're not just talking business, career, building this next thing. It's all of it.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Listeners, I hope you really took that in and remember that equation for life and business. Beautiful. Thank you. Now, you recently published a book, From the Bar, and that's BARRE, From the Bar to the Boardroom. I'd love for you to share a little bit about what inspired you to write this book, and then we've got some questions about the title and the cover. But I'd love to know why you were called to bring this book forward.
It's interesting. So I've been in business for 30 plus years. I've been a business owner for about 27 years. I can date it back to the birth of my oldest, my daughter. Mm-hmm. So in that, From the Bar to the Boardroom is very much the story of my business journey and all the lessons I've learned in that process, in the idea of guidance of as you grow and scale your businesses, careers, and life, how you create wins, right? What was interesting, though, is when I got started and opened my company, Slater Success, the one thing I buried, quickly in the ground is nobody needs to know that I have a degree in dance. I'm a business coach and consultant. They shouldn't know about that dance stuff. Well, I do have a degree in dance, and I have a degree in communications. And a bunch of years ago, one of my early attorney clients was really, we were having this sales conversations and having further sales conversations. And, she was contemplating stepping into, playing a bigger game and getting support into building her current firm, all of that. And she finally said, okay, so Ivy, you're going to help me with this strategy. So I want to know what kind of qualifications you have. What degree did you graduate? Where did you go to school, and how did you graduate? Mm-hmm. And I put my head down and I said, well, I'm done. Obviously, she'll be on to the next, next coach consultant. So I was like, the one thing I never do is I don't lie. So, but I did mumble. I said, oh, I have a degree in communications and a degree in dance. And she goes, what was that? I said, a degree in dance. She goes, you're a dancer? I said, yes. She goes, really? She started questioning me. She eventually signed as a client, and we worked for quite a few years together. And when she signed, I said, I have to ask you, what brought you over the finish line? And she very clearly said, you had me when you told me you were a dancer. And that was my inner awakening. I said, you need to tell me more because I need to understand that. And she said, Ivy, I remember growing up and being a teenager, and the girls who were really committed to dance, they would show up with a cold, their feet were bloody, this hurt, that was injured, and they showed up no matter what every day, and it didn't matter. She goes, that's who I want partnering with me to grow this firm. A woman who shows up with that kind of commitment by having a performance background, a degree in dance. I know, and having built the businesses you have built, I now understand how you show up. And
Beautiful.
So when you ask what drove to write Bar to the Boardroom, it's like, it's time to out myself. It's time to let it all out.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. And I love how that thing that you were always trying to downplay or hide in your business coaching world was the differentiator, was the thing that really became such a huge asset in the work that you're doing, and being able to train and show up in that way in your life, and that kind of commitment you bring now to those that you work with. That's just beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to,
truly with pleasure.
Oh, thank you. And I know that there's a story behind the title. It wasn't always called from the from the bar to the boardroom. And I'd love for people to see the cover too. So if you could share the title, what it was, what it became, and why, and then describe the cover, I'd love to give that visual image to our listeners.
Sure. And I'll give a resource so you could actually see the cover online at the end.
Perfect.
So it did not, so when I started writing this book, I didn't truly know the name of it. And I said, okay, let's get the content out and it will surface. And oh my goodness, and I know I'm going to blank on this. It was something about relationship bars. Oh my goodness, Rebecca, I just blanked. And it had this whole title that was the title through 2 weeks before we launched the book. This was not like early on we realized. And it was the title that we were launching with. Marketing materials were done. You know, a website was being built. Like we were in this 100%. The cover was designed and complete. And I had the fortune to work with 2 different editors on the final. And all of a sudden, you know, we had a meeting, and one of the editors showed up, and she goes, I hope you don't shoot me. She goes, but I was stumped over a paragraph last night, and she goes, and my methodology is, you know, I knew there was something missing. I knew there was a break. There was something that didn't make sense, and I wanted to go back and read it in the morning. So she goes, my method is I read that chapter again before I went to sleep, and I knew I'd wake up with seeing the answer. So she goes, so I woke up, and we have a new title of the book. I'm like, no, we can't. Everything's done. And so we immediately all jumped into this meeting, and she brought it forward, and she said, from the bar to the boardroom, choreographing business success through authentic relationships. And I said, okay, let me get on with the web people. What do we have to do? What are we changing? Because there's no questions asked. That is the encompassing of where I came from to where I am today. Because I truly believe whether you're in business, whether you're leading your own career, whether you're leading your own business, you are the CEO, not just of your business and not just of the leader of your career. You're the CEO of your life.
Yes.
And when you take that responsibility in your life and you have the ability to create the balance that we're talking about today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, and that willingness to move into that right direction, even though all of the stuff had been done. You knew that was right. It was perfect, and you were willing to make that shift, even in 2 weeks before the launch, and getting all of that in place. So I love that, and a really important reminder that we are a CEO of our life, and to really embody that and step into that. Now, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. I know the time goes really, really fast. So maybe we'll talk about the cover at the very end when you're going to share how they can connect in. But is there a quick nugget or piece of information you want them to think about as we go to our next commercial break?
So, as the CEO of your life, the greatest piece of nugget, the little thing to give some thought to, is what is your purpose? What is your why? I ask every client I start with is, what do you want in your life, and why do you want it? And from that, you can build anything in the world when you're solid there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Listeners, as we get ready to go to this next commercial break, I want to encourage you to take a moment to stop, pause, breathe, connect in, and ask those questions. What do you want and why? And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 moments. 2 minutes and 2 moments.
Follow follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's not just talk radio. Hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-host Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing. Packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes that you took the opportunity to ask those questions and see what information came forth. And did you remember to listen to what your body is saying too? Because they can add to that conversation. And the more we can learn to listen to all of us, the more we're able to more fully tap into what is truly on purpose for us and truly matters and what we want and are called to bring forth in our life. Wonderful. Well, I wanted to make sure that you had a way to connect in with our amazing guests. I think it's so important that you have access to experts and resources to support you on your journey. So in a moment, we're going to share how you can connect in, maybe a next step that you can take so that you can get that support on your journey for these amazing leaders and experts and influencers that have joined us on the show today. They are amazing. I'm so honored to know them, to have them in my circle, and to bring them to you. And I want to encourage you to lean into the opportunity to connect in, to learn more, to take those steps as a CEO of your life, really being able and willing to lean in and take those steps to bring forward all that matters to you. That's so key to falling into balance in your life and in your business and in your relationships. So with that, I had a resource I wanted to make available as well. It's called the Speaker Talent Search. You may have heard a little bit of it in one of the commercials during our time together today. But for those of you who are looking to increase your visibility or wanting to reach more people, I want to encourage you to check it out. And you go to speakertalentsearch.com. talentsearch.com. Those of you who are listening that are wanting to be a guest on our show, that's how we select all of our guests. So that's a way that you can start to take those steps. Or perhaps you're looking to get on more stages and reach more people. So I want to encourage you to check it out. That's part of our give back is the speaker talentsearch.com to help people connect with more visibility opportunities to reach more people. So that's part of something I wanted to make sure you knew about and had the opportunity to lean into today. And with that, I know let's start with Dr. Michelle. I know you mentioned a beautiful gift you've prepared for us. I'd love for you to share about that.
Body scan, and it's a meditation that will allow you to focus in on your body and find out where energy is trapped and where you're uncomfortable. So it's great, and all you have to do is go to www.releaseandthrive.com. So it's all spelled out, releaseandthrive.com. And when you go ahead and download that, you'll also be given an opportunity, if you choose, to have a conversation with me, an introductory conversation for free.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that and that opportunity to be able to scan and see where we're at and what our body may be sharing, and then that beautiful opportunity to get support with that information. Wonderful. Thank you for making that available.
I didn't mention my website, which is secretsoflifeanddeath.com.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that as well. Wonderful. We want to be able to stay in touch. That's great. And then, Ivy, I'd love for you to share. I know that you have some resources as well that you're going to make available to us, and I thank you in advance.
Rebecca, you mentioned and referenced the cover of the book.
Yes.
The cover of the book, you could actually, here's a little present. You could see the cover, which I will say the design team hit first off in just an interview with me, that this was connected from my heart's desire. And you could see it and download a free chapter, the first chapter from the, go to BARRE, BARRE, to boardroombook.com, and you will find us. You could also, if that's getting confusing, just go to my website, slatersuccess.com, and you can find Bar to Boardroom on the website as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for making that available. What an opportunity to get to enjoy that first chapter as a gift from Ivy to you. I want to encourage you to lean in, and you'll get to see this beautiful cover that we're building excitement over. It's beautiful, so make sure to check it out. And listeners, it has been such an honor to have you lean in and join us today as we come together and we talk about balance, and we look at ways that we can bring that into our life so that we can live on purpose and with great purpose. And as you get ready to go back out into the world, I want to encourage you to take 2 minutes at the end of the show, 2 minutes, and stop, pause, breathe, and integrate what's being spoken into your heart and into your spirit. And maybe it is making sure to reach out to those resources. Whatever it is that is being spoken into your heart and spirit, give yourself those 2 minutes to let it land within you, to stop, pause, breathe, and integrate before you rush back out into the world. And as you do go back out into the world, I want you to remember that you are beautifully, wonderfully, and uniquely made on purpose and for a purpose. In fact, for such a time as this, there is no one else made just like you. Your gifts, your talents, your insight, your way of being is so needed in this world. And I think the biggest gift that you can give is being willing to share more of who you are, all of you. Not just the parts you think people want to know. Really give the gift of them getting to know all of the wonderful dimensions of you, so that wherever you go, whatever you do, be willing to bloom where you're planted, share all of who you are in such a way that you are easy to find, you're easy to connect with, and you're easy for people to reach out and form that heart connection with you. That's where you can build powerful relationships. So please be willing to choose in your life, because you have choice, to bloom and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.